Stand in the Light by Jordan Smith. It became one of my favorite songs as soon as I heard it. All of the things that the lyrics point to and that they say are just so powerful and they're true to all of us. They symbolize a huge part of our lives, and that's a huge reason of why I liked it so much when I first heard it. Is just because like it applies to everybody. It doesn't just apply to like one person in one certain situation. Like you can apply it anywhere, and it's just so true. And the verses, they just kind of like phrases thrown together and like they don't really like flow together in a story like some songs do, but they all like have like a main idea of like you're reaching towards joy in your life and like you need to reach to help others and reach to help yourself even. And the first verse, it just really emphasizes that you're never really alone in life and that it's okay to feel your emotions and like show emotion because other people make fun of you for like, oh, you look really sad, or like, oh, why are you laughing? Like other people will make fun of you for that, but it's fine to feel your emotions and to show them. It's not something to be ashamed of. And the second verse, it just really emphasizes that you need to fight hard for love, for loving yourself and other people. You need to fight hard for that, and that loving somebody else is the best gift you can give to them. It's the best gift ever to just give love. And there's also a bridge. It's kind of a connection between two of the choruses. It's it's kind of like a verse, but it gets a little bit different with the music. The melody and chords usually change, but his bridge that he has, the words just really get really good in that. It goes on about it the way the music and the words line up is so good because the music is like swelling and he's talking about you're facing your storms in your life bravely with your arms open wide and just not being scared of backing down to them. And then the chorus goes on, it's pretty simple. There's not very many words to it, but it has a really powerful meaning. It emphasizes being our true selves and not trying to be a different person than you are inside. One of the phrases really stands out. It says, "Because the greatest risk we'll ever take is to stand in the light and be seen as we are." I took that to be the light as just like stepping out of your cave, like standing in front of everybody else in the world. And the wording, it says basically what it is. It says the greatest risk we're ever going to take is to stand in front of other people. But I feel like there's a different meaning that it's trying to get at because I think he's trying to say that a lot of our fears are other people. We have to face other people and what they think of us. We care so much about that and put so much emphasis on that that it becomes one of our fears of what they'll think of us when we show them who we really are. And so a lot of times we'll hold back who we are because we're so scared of that. And if you have to be a completely different person just to become somebody's friend because, oh, they're cool and I want to be their friend or whatever, if you have to be a completely different person and try to act cooler and whatever, they're not a friend that's worth having. And if you have to do that for one of your friends you already have, like that's not a true friend because they don't know you. You're not being true to them. You're not being even true to yourself when you're around them. And just by encouraging us to face these fears about other people, I feel like Jordan Smith, who wrote the song, he is just trying to encourage us to break the boxes that we get placed in when other people label us like, oh, you're a nervous person. Oh, you're always shy. Like when we get placed in those boxes, he's trying to encourage us to break the fear of those boxes that we get placed in. In a recent interview about the album that the song's in, the album's called Something Beautiful. He talks about the song and he says exactly what the words say. Like it's all about facing your fears. Like that's a big important part of life, and that's what the song is about. And that it's a lot of what he did in his own life, especially like an experience that I'm going to share a little bit later. But and he says it's an important message that people need to hear like right now. Like he said that it's just a big thing that people need to hear. Like don't be scared to show yourself. Um, the time in his life that he did that was so he auditioned for The Voice, and one of his fears in his life was that his voice was unnaturally high. He always got called a girl, like on the phone or like in the drive-through, whatever he was doing. He got called a girl a lot, and he was just really afraid to show that to the whole world, practically anybody who watches The Voice. And so it was season 9 in 2015 that he auditioned for it, and he just blew everybody away. Like they were like so amazed by his unique sounding voice, and he ended up winning it all and overcoming that fear. And his career as a music artist really took off after that stint on The Voice. He ended up becoming one of the best-selling artists in the history of The Voice, and that's a lot. Like I know one of the main people was Cassidy Pope. I think won it in the second or third season. That was really amazing that he's outsold that many people. So this his most recent release, he released it last September. It's called "Be Still No." I listened to it just recently when I researched him, and it's really good too. So I recommend listening to a lot more of his music. This song, "Standing in the Light," really meant so much to me when I first heard it. It's an amazing song. First of all, just because it sounds cool, and obviously because the lyrics are so true to everybody, and it encourages us to stand strong to ourselves and who we are and not base our character off of what other people think and what other people want us to be. We need to base it off what we know we should be and who we actually are. And we just need to realize that we won't be cooler or better if we try to be a different person than who we are. You're coolest when you're being yourself, and don't ever change that.